All right, y'all. So how much does cam and porter head actually really cost for your 5.7 Hemi? Guys, in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys like my price breakdown on how much does it really cost for you to get porter heads and cam pretty much install on your 5.7 Hemi. So before I get started, I want to clear out this to say that this is strictly not something that's going to be extremely cheap or something that's going to be non-pricey. If you're thinking that it's going to be like that, then definitely you got it wrong, because cam and porter heads is definitely, it's a big upgrade and it's definitely not cheap. So don't come in there with your with your hands in your pocket thinking that it's gonna be something like, you just probably putting on some freaking cold air intake or throttle body, whatever you want to say, or stuff like that. Something basic, simple. So this is strictly for the 5.7 Hemi. So I'm going off of what I pretty much know and what I research and stuff like that. And pretty much when it comes to cam and porter heads, I know for a fact cam is pretty much, there's different kinds of specs and stuff like that. So with cam, you could probably easily get yourself a cam from pretty much anywhere between, I'll say today's world, probably 800 to at least probably, I'll say like $1,000. It depends too on the spec and stuff like that. So I'll say, but if you're gonna from what I know, most cam and stuff like that, if you're gonna be spending that much money, or let's say you spend like $1,000, 9 times out of 10, even though the price is pricey, it's probably gonna be coming with retainers, springs, and it's gonna probably be coming with tuning and stuff like that. So that money you're probably gonna be spending, that's gonna be a little bit pricey. It's probably gonna be like an all-in-one, which actually gonna be worth it. So cam, to get it installed, obviously where I'm at in Pennsylvania with my mechanic, I know for a fact that he charged anywhere from like $1,000. It's not really that bad, but he is a all-in-one mechanic who does pretty much a lot of things, a lot of customized stuff and stuff like that. So it also depends if you go into like a high-end garage where they do a lot of stuff like that, you could probably spending from $1,000 to like $2,000. It depends. It depends where you at. So I'm going off of where I'm at and how much it will cost and stuff like that. So the biggest thing is, the biggest thing is porter heads. That's like the biggest expensive thing out of the cam and the those two. That's like the most expensive thing right there. You gotta understand, like, it's not no $1,000, $500, stuff like that. So porter heads, you can obviously buy brand new and stuff like that. If you could find it from somebody else who who bought it, and had it probably sent or something, like, don't have no use for it and haven't used it, you're probably going to be saving yourself some money. But if you strictly just buying it off the website, HHP or BES or something like that, just the heads alone is going to be running you probably at least $3,700 and stuff like that, which is crazy to think about. But $3,500 to $3,600 is, it's kind of pricey. But wait, I want to say something at the end of this video, so make sure you keep watching, and I'll give you guys my overall intake on this, input on this and stuff like that. I know you're thinking like, damn, that's a lot of money, this and that. But yes, it's pricey. But from what I believe is, when you camming, if you're doing a cam for 5.7 Hemi, you're probably gonna need, the smartest thing probably is new head gasket. You're probably gonna need 2 of them, 2 valve cover gasket. Probably gonna need 2, and all the stuff is probably gonna cost you about $70 or probably 80 or somewhere around that price range. And maybe a new timing chain gasket or something like that. And those are all, whatever, like, I'm just naming some things that you gotta expect when you probably doing something like this, that your mechanic might tell you that you need. you're not just gonna go off strictly just like you just getting a cam installed, because there's things that you gotta replace and stuff like that. You gotta put in new small parts and stuff like that. So all that stuff come into play and factor. So off the rip right there, you probably, if you spent $800, let's say you spent $800 plus your little, little stuff and stuff like that, probably gonna be around like at least $1,200 right there. So now the ported heads is about $3,600 just for the heads and stuff like that. So now overall, you spent that $3,600 for the heads. Probably now your mechanic gonna charge you, because this is not like a quick little job that you could do. So you gotta understand that you're pretty much ripping everything out. You're changing the heads on your 5.7 Hemi pretty much, and this requires some time. It's not something that you can just do in a couple hours. So his labor probably, I'm going off my labor, probably gonna cost him at least he probably gonna want at least, I say at least $1,200, knowing that, because he worked by himself. So I'm going off that, probably $1,200. Could be more for some people. And overall, now your actual price for all of these things that I just named, it's probably gonna be at least at $5 to $6 grand, at least over $5 to $6 grand. Now you probably thinking, damn, that's a lot. But I'm be honest, like, I think the ported heads and cam is actually definitely worth it, because I think that the cam actually, your Ram gonna have like insane crazy power to where it's pretty much gonna feel like a different car with just, those two things being done. And that money you spend is probably gonna be well worth it, in my opinion. I think it's gonna be well worth it, because with just the performance that your Hemi gonna have, it's gonna be like a completely different monster. And I think with that money being spent, I think it's worth it, honestly. But like I said, it might be different for some people out there. It might be because of the places that we at now. Prices for things is a lot, pricey. So, and another thing too, you got to think too, if you are a mechanic and you know how to do these things, obviously you're probably going to be spending way less than $6 grand, minus in the labor costs, because you're going to be doing it yourself. So that's a huge plus right there. So this is the actual cost for cam and ported heads for your 5.7 Hemi. So, I'm not giving you guys like, I'm going off of my research and pretty much what most guys out there with Rams and stuff like that pay for. But the labor cost is completely different. That's on my own, because I'm going off of what my mechanic normally would charge. So that's going to be it. Guys, definitely make sure, subscribe to my channel and follow. I have some changes coming from my 5.7 Hemi Ram in the future. So definitely hop on board and follow my channel and the build, man. I appreciate it. Peace out.